As the second half of Tour de Endurance kicks off with the Marauders 12 points clear of the Serpent Speeders, Sprinters tied on 93. We go to aiming in the A-League this time, as we've previously seen in the B-League. This time it is the exact same situation as last time round. The gap will get smaller and smaller as these teams go by, ordered from pre-qualified teams into qualified order. So Condiment Kings, the hosts, will go first, followed by Green Peacocks, Greyscales, and Serpent Speeders, and then J Jockeys, 12th in qualifiers, will close us out. And Autumn Leaves are doing the Expedition Free Show today, showing those gaps getting smaller and smaller and all the rounds that these teams will have to contest through.
So we saw this in the B-League before we saw the A-League. Rosemary's came on top in that one. Will these A-League teams have looked at that event? I'm sure they will have, to try to get a glean of how this event works and the strategies that they need to take to do well in this event. Autumn Leaves showing us how it's done in this A-League event. They will have one. Remember, you just need one to make it in each of the rounds to advance to the next round, and 5 rounds before we get to sudden death if there are multiple teams that make it past the 5th round. Autumn Leaves, great run here, doing a great job of trying to get as far as they can to show us how it's done in this aiming event.
Ooh! They made it all the way past, made it even past the round 5 gap. So Autumn Leaves had a good run here, showing us all the gaps that that the teams need to contend with. But they've already seen that, I'm sure, through the B League, and they see that is what sudden death can look like if you're not careful. That is what can happen if multiple teams get past that round 5. But now we're back to the regular wide gap with Sawyer and Tartare come down for the Condiment Kings, and Tartare makes it easily as the reserve member. Will Sawyer make it a double? Yes, they will. Pretty soundly there.
Yeah, remember, if you can get both marbles across, that doesn't really matter for advancing to the next round, but that will help you for tiebreakers later on if you get knocked out. Green Peacocks in the second run after an easy advancement for the Condiment Kings. Green Peacocks will also pretty comfortably move on, although the second marble, P-Foul, their captain, was not actually that close to the center at all. The Greyscales will be a third runner, run number 3.
Right down here, that's a nice and slow, delicate run there by the Greyscales first member, and they both come on through. We've seen great success so far from the first few teams. They've all made it. We have not seen a single miss in these first 3 runs, and as we move on to the Serpent Speeders, they've almost come back into their beginning of the season form, 4th place in the last event, and they've made it through very easily here. Can they do the double? Yes! We're seeing very good runs here so far.
As expected from the top tier teams in Tour de Endurance, as we go on to the Cosmonauts, our winners of the qualifiers. They're going pretty early here, and a very straight descent for them. And the second marble will manage to just follow in their footsteps and get very close to that center as well. Cosmonauts, a brilliant performance here as we go on to the Neptune Nomads.
Proteus and Galatea. Galatea's are going to come through first, and they do. Nice and slow, straight down the middle, too easy for Galatea, and Proteus makes it as well. So another perfect run, 6 perfect runs out of 6 so far. Marauders are next to run up. You can see the order over in the top right corner over there, as Padfoot and Prowler now come down for the Marauders.
The championship leaders, after a great medal in the last event, they will lose out with their first marble, but they will manage to make it with Padfoot, and just barely. That was a big scare for the Marauders, as the championship leaders, they want to do everything they can to hold on to it in this 9th event. Hellclowns now in the next one, and very much streaking towards the end there, easily going to make it for the Hellclowns. Very interesting strategies taken by these marbles in this event with the speeds of descent. If you go quickly, it's really easy to stay on your line, but it might be harder to recorrect if you need to. White Knights will make it pretty easily in the next round.
Straight down the middle for Armour, and pretty much just down to the side there for Mace, who came down like a rocket down that side pathway. But we're seeing pretty much perfect runs from everyone so far. Only Marauders have had a major slip-up, as Tangle and Pomelo, Citrus Bridges, who are trying to chase down the Marauders up top. One of those 2 teams, them and the 7 Speeders, and they do make it pretty soundly. Pomelo makes it easily. Tangle does go off to the side, perhaps, as we've seen in the B-League, saving energy for the later, harder rounds, as we see the cheese balls now. We've only got 6 more runs of this first round.
The cheese balls down in dead last. They will easily make it with Swiss and Mozzarella, both easy as can be. They want to get their season back on track in the rookie season in the A-League. As the Crazy Chickens towards the top of the standings, they are in the next round. The first marble not able to get going. They will go off very far to the right side, and the second marble will do enough, but it was pretty close for comfort. Set right towards the left for that second Crazy Chickens marble.
Now Honeycombs, 2 medals on the bounce, a silver in event 7 and a gold in event 8. They're doing very well in terms of form right now, and both of them make it to different far sides of the aiming grid there. And both Beeswax and Hummer pretty much soundly make their way home there. And with the Party Crashers, Intruder and Raider, first time appearance for Raider of the Party Crashers, and they make it straight away. Intruder got gold and downhill drag, so looking solid there. And as I say that, Commentator's Curse straight off to the side, but they still advance to the Party Crashers.
Next round, the Blue Brigade, Blue Tang, and Blue Daisy. Another reserve. So many reserves being tested out in this brand new event. And easy as can be for Blue Daisy, and Blue Tang will come down. Ooh, not making it. Going off to the right side there, but still good enough for them to move on.
You see Emerald and Malachite. Malachite just competed on their own in the fun elimination race, and there's the path to fatigue. Straight off to the side, Emerald has to make it here, and nice, slow, delicate, down the middle. Pretty good by Emerald to make it through to the next round, and every single team has made it to round 2.
Yeah, that is not something we saw in the B-League. As expected, these A-League teams have stepped it up, especially doing this event after they've seen it once before in the B-League. Conway Kings will start us off in round 2 once again, and easy as can be, they are going to get advancement to the next round. The second Marvel not able to get going there, but once again, I assume conserving some of that energy for Soy as we go on to the Green Peacocks in the second run of the second round.
Pheasant looks to come through first, the reserve, and they do. Slow and steady there for Pheasant, and they get through nice and easily. PFL sees that the reserve has already made it and goes up to the far side, waiting for the good aiming to come in the later rounds when it gets tighter and tighter. Black and Paley for the grayscales now. Paley looks to come through first, does, and an easy rocket just slightly over to the right. It wasn't a straight down the middle, but then again, you don't need that for a little while, and Blackie makes it too. Great, perfect run there for the grayscales. That's 2 for them, I'm pretty sure, in the first 2 rounds.
That would really help them in the tiebreakers if they find themselves in that position later in this event. Now Viper and Cobra for the Serpent Speeders, easy as can be. Or I think that's the reserve of the Serpent Speeders. The second marble, ooh, not making it until they were going off to the far side. But still, Cobra making it to the end means that they are moving on to the next round. Now Cosmonauts, after a very easy advancement to this round, can they do it again to go to round 3? Oh no, that's not going to be good for their first marble, but their second will manage to do it. Galaxy does get to the end.
If a bit off there, that is not what you want to be doing, especially when you're going down first. Down Neptune Nomads, Proteus and Galatea. It's going to be Galatea to come first and completely misses the board. It's on Proteus now. Can they make it through? It's slow and steady, but they can't get there. Neptune Nomads, our first elimination of the day in round 2, and it was a really close miss. It might be enough for a couple points if other teams fail after them. That's going to be a bottom result, definitely, for the Neptune Nomads.
With how high the standards are set, that is not going to be good for the Nomads, as the Marauders easily going to move on. They do not want to repeat some of that blunder that they had in the first round. Both of them quite comfortably going to be moving on to the next round.
Alright, now we can breathe again. Hell Clowns with Grok and Marks. Marks looks like Grok's to come through first on that one and makes it soundly. Marks just misses off to the side there, and there you see the results. Grok, well done, but it was a little bit off to the side there. They weren't quite down the middle, but again, perhaps saving that more middle runs for later on. Now here come the White Knights, who's going to come. It's going to be Armor to come through first, who completely misses. Mace has to make it here, and that is a nice and calculated run. Slow and steady, straight down the middle. Lovely.
Yeah, going slowly, but they did not deviate off that center line, which can hurt you if you're going slow. Very calculated for the White Knights, as the Citrus Sprinters going off to the right side, but they are able to get advancement here with both their marbles. They will both make it to the end.
Too easy for Citrus Sprinters on that one. Let's move on to the Cheese Balls now. Last place, but they might not be after the Neptune Nomad struggles, and they're already gone out. That's too easy for Swiss, straight down the middle. And will Mozzarella do it as well? Yes, very nice run there from Mozzarella. Slow and beautiful down the center. And looking like Neptune Nomads might be the only elimination here if no one else can follow in their, well, they don't really want to, but follow in their footsteps.
Crazy Chickens going off to the far side, but they are going to make it. Can second marble do? They will also make it. A lot of perfect runs here in the second round and the first round. And Gallo and whoever will be able to move on now. Beeswax and Hummer for the Honeycomb as we get towards the end of the second round. Ooh, a miss for the first Honeycomb marble. Can they bring it back with a second?
Oh, yes they can. Honeycombs just sneak in. The Beeswax captain coming in there to just make it happen for the Honeycombs, and they will advance. But by the skin of their teeth, he wasn't perfect on his run there as the Party Crashers come down next. Raider, oh, that was just too easy. Straight in for the Party Crashers. Will Intruder make it a double? It is going to be close. No, they won't. That's 2 misses for Intruder. If it comes down to Intruder, it might be Raider just pulling the team here, as Intruder's had a rough run so far. Blue Brigade now, second to last run of the second round.
And they completely missed the mark going off to the right side. The second marble is going to need to do something big here, and they're not going to do it. Going off to the right, hitting the block, and the Blue Brigade are going to be knocked out in round number 2. With no teams knocked out in round 1, just a few in round 2. I think just Neptune Nomads and the Blue Brigade. That is not going to be a good result for them, as the J Jockeys will go on now with the final runners of round 2. They will make it pretty easy as can be. the Jade Jockeys are going to advance.
Yeah, too easy there for Malachite. Just straight through Emerald, sees his teammates done it, and goes off to the far side. And there you see Neptune Nomads 15th with 2 with the double in round 1. That helps Neptune Nomads get their 1 point for this event, but that is still very poor for both teams as the gap gets smaller still. And Condiment Kings first up in round 3.
And they will miss the mark with their first marble. Can they bring it back with the second? No, they cannot. The gap is slowly but surely narrowing down as we go through this event, and the Condiment Kings will bite the dust because of it. Going off to either side, but both missing the mark, the home team will be knocked out in round 3. Now the Green Peacocks in the second run of round 3, we'll see what they can do. Ooh, they will go slightly to the far side, but it is good enough for them to move on with both marbles, Peafowl and Pheasant.
Both taking the same line there, very nice by the Green Peacocks. Doing a double in round 3 is rather impressive considering the gap has gotten rather small now. Grayscale, they just miss! Here comes Pelly's come back in front of the ramp, but just not enough. Blackie is just able to avoid them coming down. That was shambolic teamwork there, but it just works out for the Grayscale. Sweating bullets after that, I'm sure, as Serpent Speed is coming down next. Oh, too easy.
Streaking towards the end there, too easy is right. And the second marble, just barely misses it, but it does not matter. Cobra made it look really, really easy in that round. And Cosmonauts will go next. Galaxy and Ether once again. They'll miss the mark on the first one, going off to the right side. Can they bring it back with the second? Yes, they will. Pretty close to the center, and the Cosmonauts will stay alive in this event.
Galaxy looking good for the Cosmonauts. Ether's had a few misses, but Galaxy's keeping them in the game onto round 4. Now the Marauders with the Condiment Kings out. We're trying to see, home team's trying to see Marauders go down here, but that is just one in straight away, and there goes the second one as well. Marauders, that was just too easy. Off to the, it might have been off to the right, but it was very clean, very straight, and very much calculated by the Marauders. As Hellclown's coming down now. Grok and Marks, and the first one, Marks, misses the mark completely. Rock and Grok do. Marks coming down, but he's not quite in the way, and Grok misses as well. Hellclowns are out.
Another case of the marble curling back after they missed the mark, and even if they didn't collide with Grok in front of them, I think that must have thrown them off and got them dislodged to the other side. And the White Knights will go next, easy as can be. They will do it and advance to round 4.
Seeing more and more eliminations as this goes by. The pressure starting to build as round 4 is coming up. Round 4 is where we saw only 2 surprisingly go out in the B-League, but I imagine there'll be a bit more this time because he's still got several still going. Citrus Sprinters have looked very good so far today. That's going to be Pomelo to come down first, just too easy, and in fact Tangelo makes it as well because they're trying to get those doubles. Citrus Sprinters trying to do everything they can to get up to those Marauders.
Another cheese balls in the next round. The Citrus Sprinter really showed us slow and steady might be the aim of the game here in aiming. And the first marble will miss the mark completely. What can Mozzarella do? There's that twist, but they will get to the end. No, that is Mozzarella, but they will get to the end pretty comfortably, and they will save the cheese balls run. Now Crazy Chickens in the next round.
Alright, whoever comes down first and misses the mark entirely, this is a really important run for Gallo here. They have to make it down or else they're gone, and they just do, but it was a little bit off to the side. That was a little bit close for comfort, I'm sure, from the Crazy Chickens, but they still do make it, and we've only seen a couple eliminations in this round, but we still have 3 runs to go. Will we see any more? Honeycomb's first to go, and no, that was just too easy. Lovely by Hummer there.
Straight to the center, and pretty close to the center as well for Beeswax, the captain, which means that the Honeycombs, after a great run of form in the last few events, getting gold in the Hubelino Pursuit, they're going to continue their march in the season. Now Party Crashers, and easy as can be for the first marble there. Party Crashers are going to move on after struggling a bit in the previous two rounds, with especially Intruder. They will both make it very easy in that round.
Jade Jockey's final run of round 3. The first one misses the mark entirely, does Malachite. Emerald has to make it here, or else Jade Jockeys are going to go out rather early in this event, and they are gone in the last run of round 3. Jade Jockeys have bit the dust, and that is going to be the bottom 5, I'm pretty sure, locked in after the first 3 rounds. That's pretty good from these A-League contenders, and there you see how close that gap is becoming. And Condiment Kings slowing to 12th, Hellclowns 13th, and Jade Jockeys 14th, and there you see the 11 teams remaining. 11 at round 4. There's only 2 main rounds to go as Green Peacocks start round 4.
And with the host knocked out, the Green Peacocks will start us off, and the first one will miss the mark. The gap is small. It's going to be tough for them, and they're not going to do it. Green Peacocks will be knocked out in round 4. With so many teams here, I imagine many of these teams will be knocked out, but if you get knocked out here, you'll probably miss the podium and miss a good finish in the top half as well. Grayscales in the next runner, we'll see what they can do. Can they do this? Ooh, they're gonna miss with the first marble. Can they get with the second? They're not going to. Both going to the exact same place, and the Grayscales are also knocked out.
We thought this round would be the catalyst in the B-League, and it was the complete opposite. Most of them got through, but that is looking to be the opposite here. We've already had 2 gone in the first 2 runs. Seven Speeders are doing the same thing. They've lost Cobra already. Viper's coming down to try and save it, and they can't do it. 3 for 3 in round 4 here. It is the catalyst this time around, and we've seen already the 7 Speeders especially already gone out. This is a big chance for the Marauders, who are coming up in a couple runs.
The Speeders went off to the left side, I think, trying to recorrect from the other 2 teams who went off to the right. Cosmonauts did the same with their first marble. Can they bring it back with a second? They go the other way, and it's not going to do it. Cosmonauts, different directions for both marbles, but neither make it through that gap in the center. So the Cosmonauts will also be knocked out. We are 0 for 4 in round number 4.
Dropping like flies with these teams, but the Marauders have nothing to say about that, and they are the first team to make it through. That's what the championship leaders can do, and they get both through just to add insult to injury. And the Marauders are on to round 5, the final main round, and now maybe we'll start to see some momentum happen with more teams starting to make it with White Knights just after the Marauders. Armor's going to come down first and misses the mark. What can Mace do?
Mace will go straight down the center, and a brilliant performance from them means that the White Knights are also going to be moving on. White Knights, they are looking to be one of the only few teams that are going to move on along with the Marauders. Citrus Sprinters in the next round. We'll see what they can do with so many top contenders already out in this round. Citrus Sprinters, though, easy as can be for both their marbles, and they're both going to make it.
Citrus Sprinters, they're absolutely wonderful. They've seen the Marauders make it, but that pressure meant nothing to them. They still get straight through, and now both Marauders and Citrus Sprinters are on to the next round. Cheese Balls, we've seen 3 successes in a row. Mozzarella comes down first. Swiss can't make it count either. Both the Cheese Balls go out to opposite sides and completely miss the mark, to be honest. And Cheese Balls go out next. 3 runners to go. Crazy Chickens, Honeycombs, and Party Crashers, Gallo, and whoever to start us off for round 4.
Looks like whoever's going to come down first, and they're so close! Crazy Chickens, oh, that's going to be a hard break for them. The second marble will not get there, and the first, oh, that just nipping the corner of the block there. And they are going to be in the top contenders of those that get knocked out here for sure, but they're going to be kicking themselves over that one. Honeycombs now trying to advance as well and make a good surge after a golden last event. Their second marble will make it to the end, and the Honeycombs will go through as well.
Got 4 teams so far that have made it to round 5. What can the Party Crashers do? Can they make it 5 just like in the B-League with Intruder and Raider looking to come down here? There's a smaller gap, much smaller than what they're used to. Oh, they make it through! 1 through for the Party Crashers in the form of Raider, but Intruder can't quite get there. And the Party Crashers, Marauders, White Knights, Citrus Sprinters, and the Honeycombs make up our final 5 and our top 5 finishes coming into the final main round.
So Green Peacocks do get 6th place. Grayscale 7 Cheese Balls will round out the top half. 5 teams left in round number 5. Marauders will start us off as the championship leaders, but that gap is so small and so tough to get through. Marauders, their first marble will miss the mark. Will the second one do it? They will not! And the championship leaders will be knocked out in round number 5.
This is a huge chance for teams like Citrus Sprinters and the Honeycombs and the Party. All these teams right now have a huge opportunity to gain some points on the Marauders because the podium spot's up for grabs. Oh, Armor just missed the mark. Can Mace get in there to try and push the White Knights up in the standings? And no, not even close. That was way off, unfortunate for Mace there, but Armor was close, and we've seen 2 for 2 going out in round 5. 3 teams left. This could be our podium finishers if they all make it, but that is looking unlikely. Citrus Sprinters first to the final 3 here.
Citrus Sprinters, can they do that? Gap is so narrow. So many of these teams are going to get knocked out here. They will do it with their first marble, and the second one also does it. Citrus Sprinters, a very flashy run in round number 5, and they're going straight to the sudden death as well. Honeycombs, after a run like that, they must be sweating bullets. Can they also do it?
Yes, they can! We've got 2 in! The Honeycombs have taken the Citrus Sprinters to sudden death. I thought with a run like that, Citrus Sprinters would have surely, that should have been a state to claim for gold after a run like that, but the Honeycombs put them in their place, and now there's 2 on to the next round. Well, Party Crashers have made it 3! 3 competitors on to the next round. Sudden death has been postponed. We're going on to round 6. Round 6, instead of sudden death, we move the aiming area over, but it's 3 competitors, and you only get 1 shot here. So this is just a normal round, but it's a little bit over to the far side. Not quite sudden death yet, but I don't think 2 of these are going to make it. This will be where someone stakes a claim for gold.
Raider of the Party Crashers, I'm noticing they are really the dependable marble for that team. Citrus Sprinters will come down first, and they will make it slightly down to the left side, and they respond beautifully, and the Citrus Sprinters will go to sudden death, assuming one other team makes it. Citrus Sprinters, though, with this advancement, they might be able to just wrap it up here if these 2 teams don't make it. Honeycombs, can they do it? Their first marble will not.
Here comes Beeswax. Beeswax has done it! Beeswax pushes through and has taken the Citrus Sprinters to sudden death. Surely not. We've seen 2 makers in a row there. Will the Party Crashers make it as well and take us to around 7? Rita just misses. It's on Intruder now. Can Intruder take them to sudden death? No, that is going to be a bronze medal, but a very well fought bronze medal for the Party Crashers. These top 2 teams are just uncontested today, and now we have actually gone to sudden death. Citrus Sprinters and Honeycombs, first one to make this gap, or any other gap for that matter, gets the gold.
They're really going to need to reposition themselves and have a different strategy for this final. With how different that is compared to the center mark that all of these teams are facing. Citrus Sprinters and the Honeycombs, only one of these teams can capture gold. One of the Citrus Sprinters will go down and they'll make it! Citrus Sprinters spawn beautifully, and the Citrus Sprinters will stake the claim to the Honeycombs. They will say they can win this gold. It is your challenge, Honeycombs, to do it as well.
Honeycombs have to make this or else they are done. Hummer comes through and Hummer makes it as well. They've taken Citrus Sprinters further into sudden death, and these two just will not stop fighting for this gold. Honeycombs and Citrus Sprinters, the gap's now gone to the far right. Citrus Sprinters, it is back in their court, and they thought surely they had wrapped it up, but no, they have not. Pomelo's going to come down first and to the wrong side of the field. Tangelo now has to try and make the center, else Honeycombs, oh, it's in the Honeycombs court now. If they make this, they will win the day.
Beeswax and Hummer did them brilliantly in this event to stake the claim to the Citrus Sprinters. Will they be able to do it? Yes, they will! Honeycombs, the first runner, they will do it, and they will capture a 2nd gold in a row in aiming. Fantastic from them. Hummer does it, the reserve MVP of this event.
And the Citrus Sprinters with the most well-fought silver I've ever seen as a commentator. And the Party Crashers as well. What a battle for those top 3 spots. Well done to all the podium finishers, but Honeycombs in particular just would not give it up. And that is a very well-deserved gold medal. And with that gold medal, Honeycombs now into 3rd place. It is 5 points between the top 3. Marauders first, Citrus Sprinters second, Honeycombs third. Just 5 points between them. 7 Speeders back to 4th place. The next event is going to be such a catalyst in this championship battle. The distance drag is going to be a very important one this time round.